for the BA Breakdown on the KRMG Afternoon News, where we talk live all things Broken Arrow with the city manager, Michael Spurgeon. And he joins us live from BA. Michael, how you doing?
Skylar, great to visit with you on this Tuesday. How's your week going?
Oh, pretty good so far. It's just Tuesday. We're getting ready for some busy weather week, it seems, here, so we'll be prepared for that. Meantime, it looks like it's been a busy few days for you guys, too. We reported here on the show last week, actually going back to 2 weeks, we started talking about that grain elevator just off of Main Street at the Rose District Plaza. Jennifer Rush was on for you that week, and she told us the city was going to try to get it at auction. And then a couple of days later, it seemed like the city had lost out on that, and some mysterious buyer had won the auction. But then we found out yesterday that no, the city of Broken Arrow did, in fact, win the auction. So can you help us clear up what happened there?
Well, basically, I just want to let everybody know is that, our interest in the grain elevator, grain tower, really is make sure that we preserve it, that it continues to stand tall over the award-winning Rose District. It's an icon or an iconic structure here in Broken Arrow and has been since the early 60s. And the city council gave me direction just a few weeks ago, a couple of meetings ago, I believe, to see if we could actually pursue trying to acquire it. And so we had conversations with the owner to find out about the auction. And we've had a couple of previous conversations with them, and they've always made it pretty clear to us is that their interest was to sell it to a government entity or local government, like the city of Broken Arrow. And the council gave me authorization, and there's really no conspiracy there. We put our bid in, and the owners of the grain tower decided to pick the city of Broken Arrow. So now we'll proceed with closing on the tower, which will take a considerable amount of time, just the process of real estate transaction. And we'll already also start the conversations with the Burlington Northern Railroad, because the property that the grain tower sits on is owned by the railroad, and we'll either lease it or try to purchase it from them. So we'll have both parts, both the tower and the land that it's on. And it's real simple, is we want to preserve it, and we want to look to see how we could actually use it as a part of our farmers market. There is some property that's down there by the plaza. So we're excited about the fact that we were awarded it, and we're going to move forward accordingly.
We've seen some interesting comments on social media. You've probably read them. Someone said, paint a big mural on it or make it into a climbing gym. Any thoughts on what, would it be repurposed, or is it just a matter of making sure it stays there and being around?
Well, I've gotten a number of folks reaching out, expressing their views, and I really appreciate that. I mean, you've got land that is around the grain tower and the other grain tower itself, and I could see the city actually looking to see how we could incorporate the property around the grain tower into the Rose District Plaza, specifically our farmers market, which, as you know, is open from April through October, to see if we could actually expand the market or the experience that folks have when they come down there. And that's very important to the council. And so I want to make sure that we look at that. Now, as far as the grain tower itself, once we have it under the contract, now I should say, and once we own it, then I'll sit down with the council and we'll start discussing what the possibilities could be in terms of how we would use it. And so, right now, I wouldn't think there's very many things that are off the table with regards to how it could be used, but we're gonna just take some time. We'll get it owners under ownership, and then we'll start looking at opportunities and to determine what is the best use for it. But mainly, we want to just make sure we preserve it, and it looks like that's going to happen because it's an iconic structure in our city.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us know about that. I look forward to seeing what may come in the future with it. But meantime, there's something else I want to ask you about. We're talking with Michael Spurgeon, the city manager in Broken Arrow, for the BA Breakdown. And I know that there's some meetings I believe you're going to be busy with coming soon on the 2026 General Obligation Bond. You and I have talked a little bit about that, and I understand the city has a consultant to help hone in on what might be most important. Is that coming up soon?
Oh, absolutely. This is very exciting. This week is what I would call the official kickoff of the 2026 General Obligation Bond Package Initiative that we will be going to the voters in April of 2026, just a little less than 24 months from now. And as a part of this process, we're going to spend basically the next 2 years determining which projects would actually be submitted by the council to the public for their consideration, having our public meetings in 2025. But the process starts with my staff and I meeting with all of the user groups, community organizations who use our facilities, the department directors, and look at all the requests that everyone have to make sure we
may have lost Michael there for just a second. We had a little technical glitch on the connection, so hopefully we can get him back here in just a second. Michael, are you there? Michael, we've got you back. Sorry
Yes.
about that. Our signal dropped for a second there. So you were telling us about your meetings with the consultant for the general obligation bond. We'll have to pick it up next week as we're
Sure.
a bit out of time, but I appreciate you taking the time and chatting with us today.
Okay, my friend, you have a great week and be safe, and I look forward to catching up with you next Tuesday.
Sounds good.